30 minutong pagpapakilala, gabay para sa iyong napakahalagang boto. Ako po si Attorney Mike Templo. Samahan niyo ako ngayong gabi dito sa Know Your Candidates. Aabutin ang hangad na magandang buhay ng bawat Bisaya at Pilipino. If given a seat or seats in the nationwide party list vote, this party list vows enhanced Malasakit Health Services. Anong party list ito? Watch this.
Mayang gabi, ako si Attorney Miko Klavano, second nominee ng BG Party List. Ang among plataforma kay ang decentralization sa atong national government. Kami, ma-represent mi sa mga Bisaya, sa Visayas and Mindanao regions. Pero syempre, mabenepisyohan sad ang taga Luzon kay ma-decongest na pod ang atong nasod, no? So, our party list, mao ni tinuod na party list na makatabang yun sa mga Bisaya. So please don't forget, sa May 9, 108 sa Rolota, BG Party List.
If elected, BG Party List Bisaya Gyud will continue to support the provisions for financial and medical assistance to indigent families through the instituted Malasakit Center Act and the Universal Health Care Act. At kasama po natin ngayong gabi, BG Party List second nominee Attorney Miko Klavano para isa-isahin ang mga programa at proyekto ng kanilang party list. Good evening, Attorney Miko, and welcome to the show.
Mayang gabi, Attorney Mike.
The Malasakit Center refers to a chain of one-stop shop centers for medical and financial assistance provided by various agencies of the Philippine government. It was started by the Office of the Special Assistant to the President, led by Senator Bongo, following a directive of President Rodrigo Duterte. Bakit sa tingin nyo, this is my question, bakit sa tingin nyo kailangan i-improve ang implementation ng Malasakit Centers across the country?
Well, Attorney Mike, there's been a lot of clamor, no, for a very healthy or robust healthcare system, especially during the pandemic. Nakita natin na talagang kulang yung infrastructure natin, especially for the indigent. Well, first of all, BG Party List would want to revisit the requirements or I guess the criteria for what an indigent person is. No? Okay, we already know that the definition or the criteria for indigent persons is very low, masyado mababa. There are a lot of people who are stuck in the middle class that need also the same medical attention as the others. No? And we have to lift that a little bit so that we become more inclusive. More people can avail of the medical services of the Malasakit Center.
Have you been to any of the Malasakit Centers in and around the country? And if you have, what did you see, if any, things that need to be improved?
Well, it's very nice to see. No? During the campaign period, I've been going around the country. Tapos nakita ko rin na maganda yung location because they really put it within the district hospitals, which is really the direction of Senator Bongo, no? So that it's easily accessible to whoever visits the district hospitals. Although, of course, some of the centers, Malasakit centers, are a bit small, a bit cramped, and that's already with the current criteria. If we do plan to revisit the criteria and we become more inclusive to be able to provide this assistance to more people, well, first of all, we'll have to enlarge these centers or add or put an annex to it. Of course, also the services are limited so far. No, of course, Senator Bongo did a great job in providing these medical services to the indigents, but I feel like there are more medical services that could be added to the list.
Okay, so Attorney Miko, basically you're saying expansion of the space and expansion of services.
Yes.
Basically. Well, that will be taken care of by the party list. So, ang tanong ko naman is, paano nabuo itong BG Party List Bisaya Gyud?
Bisaya Gyud has been in service for for many years now. We started out as an organization aimed for the Bisaya. We all realized that ngayon na may presidente tayo na Bisaya, mas na-empower tuloy yung mga Bisaya. Na-realize natin na ang laki pala ng potential ng mga Bisaya, no? Now that we have a sitting president who speaks the language, mas nakaka-relate yung mga tao. And as a result, they see the potential, they see the opportunity that lies ahead of them. And I believe that we have to carry this momentum forward. Kasi looking at the current candidates, there seems to be no Bisaya, right? Kaya kami sa BG Party List, gusto namin ipatuloy yung mga programa, mga proyekto para sa mga Bisaya.
So you yourself are Bisaya?
Yes.
And you speak?
Yes.
Sample nga, no? No, well, going back to your platform, ano-anong mga programa at proyekto pa ang kailangan isulong para ma-improve ang healthcare system sa bansa?
Well, of course, we also have to supplement yung Malasakit Center with the Build, Build, Build project of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. The accessibility is what is key sa Malasakit Centers. Kasi marami kang Malasakit Center, hindi naman nakakapunta yung tao dahil yung infrastructure natin hindi pa sapat. So I think it's a good supplement to further the Build, Build, Build project of our president. Also, of course, we have to be able to reinforce or empower our healthcare workers who will be there as our frontliners. No? And we do that by increasing salaries. We do that by providing more scholarship programs for our frontliners and our medical staff.
So, going back now to you, what do you bring to the table as a representative of this party list?
Well, as you can see, my age is still on the calendar. I'm 31 years old, and I can see these projects through. I believe that continuity is key. So if we start projects now, and if given the chance to sit in Congress and serve, I can see these projects, these programs through. I'm a huge advocate for decentralization and federalism. So by doing that, I believe that the national services of our government can easily reach the people in a more efficient, in a more effective way.
Sounds good. At marami pa po tayong pag-uusapan sa pagbabalik ng Know Your Candidates.
Sa paglipanan ng maling balita, dito ka nasusubok at totoo. Kumpletong pagtalakay sa COVID-19 at mga hakbang ng pamahalaan laban sa pandemya. Dito nyo malalaman. Samahan ang dalawa sa pinakapinagkakatiwalaang tambalan sa telebisyon. Public Briefing. #Laging Handa PH. Lunes hanggang Sabado na umaga sa PTV.
Nagbabalik ang Know Your Candidates at kasama pa rin po natin si Attorney Miko Plavano, BG Party List Bisaya Gyud, second nominee. Sir, you are pushing for more inclusive and accessible public services. Gaano kahalaga ito sa kasalukuyang sitwasyon ng ating bansa?
Alam niyo, Attorney Mike, yung during the campaign period, yung pag-ikot ko, nakita ko talaga yung kahirapan ng buhay sa ating mga probinsya, no? And I come from Cebu, which is the richest city and richest province in the country. Pero pag tinatanong ko sila, nafe-feel nyo ba na kayo yung pinakamayaman sa buong bansa? I get a resounding no. Every rally talaga. Kaya decentralization of the political power, the administrative services of our government is key to letting our people feel that their taxes are being put to good use. Kasi syempre, pag nagbabayad tayo ng buwis, inaangat natin sa national government, pagbaba, wala na, parang it's mere change na lang. Kaya the fiscal autonomy has to be given to the local governments. The decision making, the planning has to be given to the local governments for them to be able to govern themselves a bit better. Kasi alam naman natin yung cultural differences ho natin, pati yung mga, even just the language is different throughout the country, no? And that carries with it a different way of governing, I believe.
Different
no?
approach.
A different approach,
Yeah,
correct,
yeah.
exactly. So we have to give that to them because who better to govern the people in their area than the people who are from that area, no? Mas alam nila yung kailangan ng tao. And it also provides for a lot of accountability and responsibility on the part of the LGUs.
Let's talk about your party list again. Among 178 party list candidates, bakit BG party list ang karapat-dapat? At anong kaibahan nito sa ibang party list na nagsusulong din para mapaunlad ang healthcare system ng ating bansa? What's the difference?
Well, out of the 178, a lot of them are advocating for different services. Of course, we can't deny na marami tayong issues sa ating bansa na kailangan i-address, no? But I believe that healthcare and decentralization of national services should be one of the top priorities of our country. Nakikita ho natin yan sa ating, well, we're still in a pandemic now, no? And over the past 2 years, nakita natin kung gaano ka fragile yung ating healthcare system. And so BG Party List is here, of course, to strengthen that, to make sure that our healthcare system is ready for anything that may come. Nakita natin na biglaan yung COVID. So we should be ready for anything that comes. It's not going to be the last time it's going to happen. So as of today, we should start getting ready for the next, I guess, medical crisis, the next pandemic.
The next pandemic. You know, speaking of the next pandemic, what would you see, personally, what would you see would be or should be like the first thing that government should take care of or be ready for or be ready with? I mean,
two things I see, no? One is our people. I think the biggest resource of our country is our people. So we should protect our frontliners. We should support them. We should pay them more, train them a bit better. And then second is infrastructure, the facilities that we need to support the healthcare system.
just going back to what you said earlier, which is expansion of the
Yes.
space, right? Well, Attorney Miko, sorry, I'm talking to myself. No, Attorney Miko, Republic Act 11463, otherwise known as the Malasakit Centers Act of 2019, mandates all DOH-run hospitals to establish their own Malasakit Center. Bakit kailangan pang mabigyan ng seat sa House of Representatives ang BG Party List para maipagpatuloy ito at mabigyan ng priority?
Well, as a sitting congressman, hopefully, no, we have what is called an oversight function. So, even if the law is there, the Malasakit Center Act of 2019, it's good to have people in Congress really looking after the implementation of the law. And through that oversight function of Congress, you're able to really facilitate and make sure that the implementation of the law is proper. And as a result also, you're able to amend the law as needed to be able to further improve its implementation.
Attorney Miko, your party list wants to make sure na may pagpapatuloy ang Malasakit Centers considered as Duterte legacy. How do you intend to continue and improve its implementation?
Actually, like I said earlier, the oversight function will help us determine no, all the loopholes, all the points for improvement. As I also mentioned, I believe that infrastructure-wise, we have to support the Malasakit Centers and provide better accessibility for our indigent population. And we should really look after the services also, expand the services. We should be able to evaluate every now and then kung ano ba talaga ang kailangan, no? And that goes hand in hand with the DOH. No? Like, we have to be able to consult every so often with the DOH and see what diseases, what sicknesses are out there that we have to quell.
Sino-sino ba ang nire-represent ng BG party list? Is it just the Visayan region or is it the whole Philippines?
You know, our platform is, it actually addresses a lot of the root causes of a lot of the issues in the country, you know. When you decentralize and when you prioritize, for now, the Visayan and Mindanao regions, you are also helping the Luzon regions, especially Metro Manila, by decongesting it. A lot of the national services are concentrated here in Metro Manila. In fact, 38% of the GDP goes into Metro Manila, which already tells you that there's quite of an imbalance now. So what we're advocating, what we're pushing for is equal distribution of the resources of the country. We have to be able to provide opportunities for the Visayan and Mindanao regions so that these people don't feel like they have to move to Manila. I actually am a victim of that. No? My dad is from Cebu, my mom is from Cebu, but we moved to Manila because they thought nandito lang yung opportunity, nandito lang yung negosyo, nandito lang yung trabaho. So, as much as I want to really be in Cebu, nandito ako sa Manila. I grew up here. Kaya that's really what we're pushing for, no? That opportunity is where you live, opportunity is where you grow up, and opportunity is where your family is.
So equal opportunity nationwide.
Nationwide, yes.
Susunod, Taong Bayan naman ang mag-uusisa para mas makilala ang BG party list sa pagbabalik ng Know Your Candidates.
What are your qualifications para ikaw ay ibotong senador?
Ako'y nakagawa ng 270 ordinances and resolution. Batas yun.
COVID response natin, anong pwedeng idagdag?
Ang commitment namin, we will construct 17 regional hospitals.
Anong chances niyo para manalo?
Sa tingin ko malaki. Halos 3 dekada na kaming nagbibigay ng kaalaman legal at nagbibigay ng libreng payong legal.
Abangan si Senatorial Aspirant Attorney Jopet Season sa The Chat Room ngayong Martes, 7 p.m.
At nagbabalik po ang Know Your Candidates with our guest, Attorney Miko Plavano, BG Party List second nominee. Diretsong tanong, Attorney Miko, in one of your interviews, you've mentioned that BG Party List will ensure that Malasakit Center policies will not be politicized. Bakit nyo nasabi to?
As with a lot of our programs in government, a lot of the people in government, they tend to use the resources of the government and make it seem like it's their own. No? But we all know na itong pondo natin na ginamit sa Malasakit Centers and a lot of the programs, galing to din sa buwis na binabayad ng taong bayan. Kaya ang sabi ko lang po sa mga interviews ko dati, it's about time that the people know that it's their program, it's their money being used. No? So, in that sense, I believe that a lot of the government officials should have that same message na pera to ng bayan at binabalik lang ho natin ito sa kanila. And it's about time na ma-feel din ng taong bayan kung saan napupunta yung taxes nila.
It's very refreshing to hear, Attorney Miko. Ngayon naman, Taong Bayan represent. Ito ang ilan sa mga tanong na nangangailangan ng kasagutan. First question, hindi ba pamumulitika rin naman ang pagtakbo as party list? Kung gusto talaga kaming tulungan, bakit kailangan pang kumandidato?
Hindi talaga ako politiko. I would like to refer to myself as a public servant. Kasi 3 years na ho ako nagserbisyo sa government. Hindi lang niyo ako nakikita kasi nasa OSG ako, sa Solicitor General's Office. At yun po, nasa likod lang po ng computer. I show up in court, no? Naglilitigate ho ako. Pero ngayon na nakita ko yung opportunity na makaserbisyo ng direkta sa taong bayan, nakita ko yung kagandahan ng party list system. Kasi ang true meaning ng party list system at yung purpose ng 1973 Constitution natin is to represent the marginalized sector. In fact, at that time, there were only 5 sectors to be represented. Now, marami na. Pero itong party list system, kailangan ibalik sa dating meaning, no? A lot of the party lists, party list representatives come from wealthy families. They have big businesses. And just like the President said, nawawala na yung saysay ng party list system. Kaya kami sa BG Party List, gusto namin ibalik yung true meaning, no? So we have a platform, we have programs that we want to advocate for. And that's my plea to the Philippine population, or the voting population, na piliin nyo yung party list na may plataforma. Piliin nyo yung party list na may programa na ihahandog sa inyo. And kami dito sa BG Party List, hindi pa kami nakakaupo. Meron na kaming programa na pinapalabas.
Speaking of marginalized sectors, Attorney Miko, itong question na to, hindi po ba ginagamit nyo lang kaming marginalized sector para magkaroon ng upuan sa Kongreso? Napakahirap na magtiwala sa mga politiko tuwing eleksyon lang naman kami naaalala.
Actually, hindi po kayo ginagamit. Kayo po yung boss dito sa party list. Kasi at the end of the day, kayo po yung taong bayan na gusto naming serbisyohan. I mean, you know, we want to serve the population of the Visayas and Mindanao regions. Kaya po, hindi sa ginagamit ko kayo, talagang kayo yung rason kung bakit namin binibigay or may plataforma, may mga programa para sa inyo. Kaya ngayon na election period, ginagamit ho namin itong opportunity para ipalabas yung plataforma ho namin. At kung makaupo kami, that's the time that we implement all these projects, all these programs for the Philippine population.
Another question, dependent po ba ang BG Party List sa mga programa ni President Duterte?
Hindi naman sa nakadepende kami sa programa. Nakita namin yung kagandahan ng mga programa ni President Duterte at gusto namin ipagpatuloy yun. Not only do we want continuity, we also want improvement. Kasi of course, there's always room for improvement. No? And like I said earlier, ngayon lang natin na-realize, no, na yung mga Bisaya, which composes most of our population in the Philippines, naiwan. And hindi ko magets yun talaga. Naiwan yung mga Bisaya. Nawawalan sila ng opportunities doon in terms of infrastructure also. Parang hindi sila nabibigyan ng pansin. So kami sa BG Party List, we want to be able to provide equal opportunities. We want to be able to provide equal programs for our brothers and sisters in the Visayas and Mindanao regions.
Last question from this group, para lang po ba sa kabutihan ng mga Bisaya ang plataforma ninyo?
Yung platform namin, hindi lang naman naka-focus or hindi lang naman ang Bisaya ang mabe-benefit, no? Sa tingin ho namin, this platform really hits the root cause of a lot of the problems in the country. One big problem, especially Metro Manila, is congestion. So with decentralization and hopefully federalism, ma-address ho natin yung congestion issue natin sa Metro Manila, and we also address poverty. We address the lack of food security, the lack of education, the lack of housing. A lot of these things we think are the main issues are actually symptoms. Pero yung root cause talaga dyan is the unequal distribution of wealth, of resources, and opportunity in the country.
Thank you, Attorney Miko. Marami pa po tayong malalaman tungkol sa BG Party List sa pagbabalik ng Know Your Candidates.
Sa huling episode ng Paliwanag, matapang nahaharap si Presidential Candidate Ernesto Abella.
Marami tayong trabaho ma-generate doon sa agricultural sector. Dapat mabigyan po ng saktong oportunidad ang lahat, lalo na po ang mga ina.
Paliwanag, the 2022 Election Town Hall Series. Hatid ng Philippine Information Agency at ng inyong PTV Election TV.
Based on your experience, ano ba ang number one problem ng mga OFW?
Susunod sa Know Your Candidates. Mga bagong bayani naman ang bibida. Kasama si ako OFW nominee Coco Naik.
Kailangan maihanda po natin ang ating mga kababayang pumupunta sa ibang bansa. Napapanahon na po para magkaroon ng boses ang ating mga OFW.
Know your candidates with attorney Mike Templo. Abangan ngayong Miyerkules alas 7 ng gabi.
Tumatakbo ang oras dito sa Know Your Candidates pero may ilang pang minuto para magpakilala at makilala ang BG Party List and its representative, Attorney Miko Plavano. Bukod sa pagpapatuloy ng enhanced malasakit services, what are your key platforms should BG Party List win a seat in Congress this election?
So we have three main thrusts in our platform. And the first is food security. So in Bisaya pa, pagkaon. We have education and housing, which is kapuyan in Bisaya. So
Kapuyan.
those are the three main thrusts. And we plan to implement these main thrusts by decentralizing our national services by providing more one-stop shops like the Malasakit Center. We believe that the services of the national government haven't really reached the provinces, or at least if they have reached, they're not very efficient and they're not empowered enough. No? So these are the things that we want to improve sa ating national government. The structure, of course, we have to be able to change a lot of the regional offices, the way they're structured, and the way the plantilla is plotted out. No? Okay. So yeah, that's the main thrust. But also, this is a step forward towards federalism. And we know that our President Duterte has been pushing and advocating for this. We plan to take it one step at a time.
Now, Attorney Miko, we will show you some images and describe what you see in one word or two, or what you feel when you see the image.
DOH? Opportunity.
Yes, Department of Health Opportunity. These are rural areas in the Philippines.
Build, build, build. Sorry, those are three words, but it's the same
Hey,
word anyway.
Whatever comes to mind. Next image.
Opportunity. Hope.
Poor healthcare.
Sympathy.
Okay. Thank you, Attorney Miko Klavano, BG Party List's second nominee for guesting in tonight's
Thank you,
show.
Attorney Mike, for having me.
Ang pag-unlad ng bayan nakasalalay sa manunungkulan sa pamahalaan, kaya matutong manindigan at makialam sa pagpili ng kandidatong iboboto sa nalalapit na halalan. Ako po si Attorney Mike Templo, nagpapaalala, know your candidates bago ang hatol ng bayan.